We no afraid, we no see no one where we afraid of. We no afraid, we no see no one where we afraid of. Yeah, this is Everton Blender. It's all about the young police from Jamaica. See Young Police channel. Big up yourself. Everton Blender said that. We no afraid, we no see no one where we afraid of.
If you are tired of seeing criminals get away with murder, tired of hearing excuses for the wicked, then it's time to take action. Hit that subscription button now and stay in the loop with the Jamaican Young Police channel. We are not here to sugarcoat. We are here to expose the truth, bring justice, and make sure the real heroes get the recognition they deserve. Don't wait for the change. Be the change. Subscribe, like, and let's make some noise and hold those criminals accountable. Justice in action. Speak up. Crime must fall. And remember that we have go inside this description box and you'll see various links to various things for the Jamaican Young Police channel. JamaicanYoungPoliceChannel.com, where you will see articles and stuff like that. Those who like to read, and you know, we continue to give you guys exceptional material over here. So, moving on. Yes, welcome to the Jamaica Young Police channel. To our loyal viewers, subscribers and Patreon member. At the channel, we are a group of law-abiding citizens who believe in the rule of law and respect the rights of every citizen, but not the ones who do not subscribe to such behavior. We do believe in and support preemptive strikes because they save lives. This is a logical conclusion because preemptive strikes save lives and prevent the further loss of lives. We are all about saving lives at this channel. We at the channel aid criminals with a passion and do not want them over here. We do not want your views, your subscriptions, your likes or your comments. Please go elsewhere where the red carpet is waiting for you. Over here, we want you to go to prison or the departure lounge at Madden. Moving on to today's video. So whether or not you want to believe it, I tell you all the time that the PMP only care about criminals. They don't care about patriots, heroes, people who contribute positively to Jamaica. So the betrayal of Donald Quarrie when criminals were chosen over heroes. Most Jamaicans don't even know who is Donald Quarrie. Well, we say, we are taught the younger generation, unless, because most Jamaicans don't read, you understand. Donald Quarrie was a legend. If you used to, Donald Quarrie was one of the first Jamaican to endorse Milo. I tell you that from memory, as a youth background, Donald Quarrie beat them all in Montreal. But if you're buying, you buy in a kilograms. And when you buy Milo, you buy in liters. We are 200, Quarrie run 200 meter. Quarrie beat them all in Montreal. But if you run in meters, and so those who remember it and all of them thing, that song, that Milo advertisement that Donald Quarrie, endorsed back then as youth. So because so Donald Quarrie did fast then, but guess what? As a youth now, you want your parents to buy Milo, but guess what? And anybody could afford it still, but we have some people in our family who go to them yard, them give you a cockatoo and tell us say a Milo, so it go, you understand? But when you taste it, you know say a cockatoo boy, what you can't say, them say, it's some Milo here because advertise it. So I say children, when you're advertising that, children are the ones who make them parents buy it. Yeah, so Quarrie was a man like that. So the betrayal of Donald Quarrie when criminals were chosen over heroes, and you're going to see, when Angela Brownberg, chose, her father, a farmer wanted man, Tony Brown over Donald Quarrie, lit down him statue, and you understand, it lit down Donald Quarrie statue. I want to replace it with our father who was a most wanted man, Tony Brown. PJ Pattis was Prime Minister to and him agree based on information, we say him agree with her for lick it down Donald Quarrie. And guess why them say fill it down? You will be shocked. After this man was a hero, that's what he has done for Jamaica. That's to show you all these people. They don't like people who uplift Jamaica, them love criminals. Yes, my fellow Jamaicans, I want you to stop and think for a moment. Do you know the story of how Jamaica destroyed the statue of our greatest Olympian, Donald Quarrie, at the Harbourview roundabout? Monument, one of the most, yeah man, and they want to put up a monument on one of Jamaica, of the island's most notorious killers. Yes, this is not fiction, it is history. A shameful hidden truth buried by those who would rather glorify criminals than honor heroes. You won't find it in the archives of the Jamaica Gleaner. Remember, the Jamaican Gleaner is owned and controlled by Matalan, a man who endorsed the PNP LGBTQ plus criminal organization because he wants to be the sole builder of houses in Jamaica. And the Jamaica Labour Party say, no, we have a lot of builders in Jamaica. Why you want monopoly to build these matches box and these jails to sell people for millions? No. Donald Quarrie, the symbol of excellence. In the 1970s, when Donald Quarrie stepped onto the track at Montreal Olympics, he carried not just the Jamaican flag, but the dignity of the entire people. He was the first Jamaican sprinter to bring Olympic glory, winning gold in 200 meter and silver in the 100 meter. Quarrie victory was not a government achievement. It was the people of Jamaica, ordinary men and women, teachers, shopkeepers, police officers and farmers who scraped together a contribution to send him abroad. And when he won, he gave us pride, a pride that could never be bought or stolen. Michael Mann the same now, yeah, Michael Mann never interested in that. Michael Mann interested in sending brigadistas, sending men to Cuba to train to come back and return and kill Jamaicans. They don't want to invest in a youths like Donald Quarrie now, sir. Oh, we don't want to running. So to honor him, a statue was raised in Harbourview, right at the traffic circle, the gateway from Norman Manley International Airport into Kingston. Every visitor to Jamaica was greeted by the image of Quarrie, an icon of discipline, sacrifice and national pride. Angela Brown Burke, her father, and the shame of the PNP LGBTQ plus criminal organization. Fast forward to 1990s. Angela Brown Burke, yeah man, her father was one of Jamaica's most wanted men in Jamaica. That's why I tell you the PNP is a criminal organization. I don't think I joke me, I make. I don't think I hate them because boy, some of my family members through them a PNP, police kill them, other people kill them. No. Well, that's a part of it because them impart criminality to them. And them gravitate to it like something nice. So that's why I have to save lives. That's how I have to do. I told I will from my community. I'm not caring a guy wants to say, you want to say me a liberator? Yes, I am alive. I am a liberator and alive. Born and raised in Iberia. And I can think because I do not like criminality. I don't see the Prime Minister a march with the murderer. Like how I say Mark Golding a march with Danville Palmer. I know. Said him going to England. So what most Jamaicans do not know, that Angela Brown Burke, she's the biological daughter of Anthony Teague Brown, one of Jamaica's most wanted men. A gunman whose name struck fear across communities. His life represents violence, robbery and death, not nation building. And what happened on the Earl Watch when she am here? The statue of Donald Quarrie was torn down. The very symbol of Jamaica's athletic pride, our beacon of international respect, was destroyed by the PNP. We don't know that. The Gleaner moved that. You can't find that online. Because I remember I was a police officer then at Unspear. But it does not stop there. Do you know what was whispered in the PNP circles at the time? They were contemplating and replacing Donald Quarrie's statue with one of Angela's father, Anthony Teague Brown, a wanted man, a gunman, a criminal. Let that sink in, replacing Donald Quarrie statue with Angela Brown Burke's father, Anthony Tiger Brown, a wanted man, a gunman, a criminal. Imagine that. Imagine it. The first sight of greeting travelers as they leave Jamaica's international airport. A monument, not to era, but to a killer. When I think a joke, me come tell you say PNP is a criminal organization. Let that sink in. So when you go vote Wednesday, remember all of them things, you know. I tell you, you know. And we know say enough. Hey, we know say we can't talk to the PNP LGBTQ plus criminal organization supporter. I tell you, me say a lot of police where PNP send him a jail innocently. Him see him and say it, him on the channel, and him say him ban PNP and him go dead PNP. I saw it go, and him say me don't know how you turn labor right. Me I tell you, I saw them stay. Me not turn labor right. I'm a patriot. Me I tell you that I'm a patriot. As we show you, say the PNP, them no build. They're not nation builders, you know. Them mongo build. As I tell you, you know, if you're not a criminal-minded person or a criminal, the PNP have no use for you. So remember at the time, you know, the black thief, yeah man, the black thief PJ Patterson was prime minister. Yeah man, who was the prime minister during this shameful chapter when them tore down Donald Quarrie's statue from in the middle of Harbourview roundabout? PJ Patterson, none other than PJ Patterson. A man who many call the black thief, who presided over one of the most corrupt and morally bankrupt period of Jamaica's history. The black thief, you know. So under his leadership, Jamaica image of greatness, Donald Quarrie statue was dismantled. Whilst at the time in dismantled Donald Quarrie statue, you know who are working in the Prime Minister's office? George Fraggy Flash, another wanted man who was wanted with Anthony Tiger Brown. Him working in the Prime Minister office as a messenger. While serious thought was given to honoring a criminal, her father, them want to put in a middle Harbourview roundabout like him as some hero or some warrior fighting for a cause. What cause? Murder people, kid tell ugly a patriot. It was only after a few decent voices inside of the PNP LGBTQ plus criminal organization elites who spoke up courageously that the plan to glorify Anthony Tiger Brown was stopped. This is not just about statues. It is about what kind of nation we want to be. Will we celebrate men like Donald Quarrie, who through discipline and sacrifice lifted Jamaica's name high in the world? Or will we bow to the children of dons and gunmen who try to rewrite history by tearing down our heroes and glorifying killers? No, we're not going that route. People like Donald Quarrie, we have to honor. We have to honor men like Donald Quarrie. The PAP LGBTQ plus criminal organization showed us where they stand long ago. They showed us in the 1990s when they tried to erase Donald Quarrie's honor. They tried to erase the man's honor. And they show us again on April 29th, 2025 when they choose criminals over cops, killers over law-abiding citizens. We know that this now reach the PNP LGBTQ plus criminal organization voters. Some of them it might reach and they might think about it. That a good one, them the one that can read and write and decipher things. But some of them alone they can read and write organic robots. Patriotism versus treachery. A statue is not just a stone and metal. It is a symbol of who we are. When they tore down Donald Quarrie's statue, they were tearing down the image of hard work, sacrifice, and national pride. They were replacing it with the philosophy of violence, corruption, and betrayal. These are the people that love Jamaica. And the PNP went as far as to change even the flag of Jamaica from green to orange. May I tell you, as patriots, we must never forget this. We must teach our children the truth. Jamaica is not built by dons and gunmen. Jamaica is built by heroes, by men like Donald Quarrie, Usain Bolt, Sean Paul, Bob Marley, who carried us to the heights of Olympic glory when no one believed in us. Shelley and Fraser Price from Waterhouse, Elaine Thompson, Sherika Jackson, Elaine Walker from Kingston 13. You must decide, my fellow Jamaicans. Do we stand with Donald Quarrie or with Anthony Tiga Brown? Do we stand with cops or with killers? Do we stand with Jamaica or with the PNP LGBTQ plus criminal organization that has betrayed us time and time again? History has given us the answer. The choice is clear. We stand with our heroes. We stand with our patriots. We stand with Jamaica. Most Jamaicans do not know, and many have forgotten, one of the darkest and most shameful episodes of disrespect towards our national pride. And this happened in the 1990s when Angela Brown Burke was the mayor of Kingston and St. Andrew. A deliberate act of betrayal was committed against one of Jamaica's greatest living heroes, Donald Quarrie. Yes, Donald Quarrie, the man who carried the weight of Jamaica's colour on his back in the 1970s. The man who put us on a global map of athletics. The man whose victory gave our people pride when the world ignored us. His statue once stood proudly in the middle of Harbourview traffic circle, welcoming every visitor who passed from Norman Manley International Airport into Kingston, reminding them that Jamaica was a land of champions, discipline and greatness. But do you know what happened? That statue, which symbolized Jamaica's triumph, was torn down under Angela Brown Burke's watch. And here's the part that will make your blood boil. Angela Brown Burke is the biological daughter of Anthony Tiga Brown, one of Jamaica's most notorious, most wanted criminals, a man who was not a builder of the nation but a destroyer of lives. Criminality in place of patriotism. Let us pause and ask, who was the Prime Minister at the time? None other than P.J. Patterson, the black thief, a man who history will remember, not as a nation builder but as a criminal enabler. This is the man that gave Jamaica the Klansman gang. This is the man that gave Donovan Bulby Bennett, Jamaica's most wanted man, a $400 million government contract. A man who history will remember, not as a nation builder, but a leader who oversaw theft, moral decay and entrenchment of garrison politics. And as if it were not insult enough to erase Quarrie's honor, do you know who they were contemplating and putting in his place? Not another national hero, not a teacher, a police officer, a cultural icon, or a freedom fighter. No, there were whispers and talks within the PNP machinery about erecting a statue of Anthony Tiga Brown, a most wanted man, the father of Mayor herself, right there in the middle of Harbourview. Imagine that. The first sight of greeting visitors leaving our international airport, a monument, not to the greatness, but to criminality. That's why I tell you Jamaica is a criminal's paradise, because of what I have seen in the police force. It was only because of a few conscientious PNP elites, those who had enough decency and love for Jamaica, that this outrage was stopped. They knew it would have been the ultimate shame, the ultimate decoration that Jamaica has chosen to honor gunmen over nation builders and criminals over patriots. So when I told you that Jamaica is a criminal's paradise, this is where I'm coming from. So let us not sugarcoat the truth. The act of tearing down Donald Quarrie's statue was not an accident. It was not urban planning. It was a political statement, loud and clear. It was the PNP's philosophy and full display. Erase the image of discipline, hard work and patriotism and replace it with glorification of gunmen, dons and killers. This is the same PNP in April 2025, once again, choose criminals over cops, murderers over law-abiding citizens, and destruction over national pride. They show the entire world that they are aligned with the very forces that tear down Jamaica apart. Why Donald Quarrie matter? Donald Quarrie is not just an athlete, he's a symbol of Jamaican nationalism and our resilience. He rose from humble beginning, the son of a police sergeant, and proved that discipline and sacrifice could carry a Jamaican boy to the pinnacle of Olympic glory. His gold medal in Montreal and silver made Jamaica a force to be reckoned with in athletics. He opened a path for Merlin Otti, Veronica Campbell Brown, Shelley and Fraser Price, Usain Bolt, Asafa Powell, and I can go on and on. Without Donald Quarrie, there would be no sprinting dynasty. Tearing down his statue was an attempt to erase that memory and replace it with something dark, shameful and destructive. It was spitting in the face of every Jamaican who believed in honest achievement, sacrifice and national pride. This is the dividing line, my fellow Jamaicans. Who do we honor as a people? Do we celebrate Donald Quarrie, who put us on the world stage, or do we celebrate or bow to Anthony Teague Brown of the world? The Anthony Teague Browns of the world, men who brought on the pain, death and infamy. And we say, hell no, we'll never do that. The PMP showed us the answers decades ago. And they confirm it again on April 29, 2025, when they publicly sided with criminals over police officers. They are consistent in their betrayal. They are unwavering in their allegiance to destruction. But we, the patriots, the nationalists, the true children of Jamaica, must be louder. We must declare to the world that Jamaica will not glorify killers. Jamaica will not bow to criminals. Jamaica will only celebrate nation builders. The tearing down of Donald Quarrie's statue was not just the removal of metal and stone, it was tearing down the symbol of Jamaican pride. It was an insult to every child who dream of greatness, to every family who believe in sacrifice, and to every citizen who want to see Jamaica rise. But let this also be a lesson. Let us never again allow those who glorify criminals to define who we are. Let us stand tall like Donald Quarrie did on Olympic track and tell the world that Jamaica is a land of hero, not killers. Michael Mann did that on the PMP. Michael Mann import that to us. And let us remember that patriotism is not just words, it is action. On April 29, 2025, Jamaica was reminded again of the choice. Killers are cops, destruction are discipline, criminals are heroes. We know where we stand at the Jamaica Young Police channel. We stand with the heroes. We stand with Donald Quarrie. We stand with Jamaica. And we stand with the future. And if you want to make a bolder statement, stand by choosing Jamaica. The Jamaica Labour Party and Andrew Holness, all 63 members who are contesting to represent Jamaica, to make Jamaica a better place, renounce and reject the PMP LGBTQ plus criminal organization, because if you don't, you're going to live to regret it. But maybe you won't be around to see it, because you will be dead. The only people that the PMP LGBT plus criminal organization care about are killers, criminals, dons. Have yourself a beautiful day. Jamaica Young Police channel out.